Alright, welcome back to Decode Traders Hub. Yes, it is a beautiful morning. I believe you guys, wherever you are, whichever country you're watching us from, you are having a good time. Yes, here in Uganda it's a morning, and it's been drizzling, and I believe we will have a good day even if it rains. Alright, so without any further ado, you know the drill, you know the routine, how we do this every other day. So let's pray and get started. Father, we give you praise. Thank you for today. Thank you that we are back here another day to analyze and to make money in these markets. Thank you for yesterday's profits. Yes, thank you, Lord, because we made money yesterday on the very analysis that you gave unto us and on the signals that you even provided unto us, Lord. We say thank you so much. And as we start today, we know that still, even today, we will make money. Even today, we will make the money that's the reason why we've come here today into this session. So as we start, Lord, may you give us good signals, give us a good entry points and exit points, that we may be alerted when to enter and when not to enter, Lord. Because of your Holy Spirit, we know He gives us the wisdom and knowledge to do all things. So we are ready, Lord, for your glory. We give you praise and we love you. Thank you for today's prophet. We love you, Jesus. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Alright. Crash 500. As usual. Those who have been with me for a lot, I think it's a year now. It's coming to a year, I believe. Ever since we started YouTube. Ever since we started analyzing on YouTube. I think it's now coming to a year. Alright, let's now start with Crash 500. You guys know that we always start with Crash. Alright, so Crash 500, that's what we wanted, but like I told you yesterday, it was going to go to that level. Surprisingly, it only went to that fair value gap. I told you we had that small fair value gap. So we clearly see that it did not touch that order block. And as we speak, our price started to sell, then gave us a retest, a sort of a retest right there, and it only came to that fair value gap. If you can see that, only came to that fair value gap on the retest, and then as we speak it is still continuing to sell. Are we ready to continue with it? According to H4, it's overbought right there. According to daily time frame, we need buys, but I said we have to first see this kind of retest before we can continue with the buys. So if we go back to H4, all we need is the change of character right where we are currently. So if we get a change of character, then we know we will be ready. This is no longer needed. It was not respected. Even this now is no longer needed. Now that one is still needed right there, because we can easily get a pullback right there. So for now, I want to hold on to what I'm seeing and just have it there, but then I want to have another scenario right here, right here. I want to have another scenario right here. Now this scenario is dependent on on price breaking this level, me giving us a change of character. This scenario, the second one, if price doesn't go back up there to touch that order block, then price will come here and retest and then continue with the sell to come and grab liquidity here. So for now, there's nothing we can do. As we speak, there's nothing we can do. All we can do is just wait. According to H1, we are looking for sales, of course, yeah, but like we said, there's that order block, but then there's a one above which is on the daily time frame. So anything can happen where we are. So for now, I can't do anything. I have to wait for the change of character on H4, and that once we have it, we know we are going to keep selling. So for now, until I see a structure that I'm looking for, I can't trade that. I will leave it at H1. Let's head over to boom 1000. Boom 1000. Boom 1000. Yes, those who remember, we wanted this on a daily time frame. It happened. It came to that that order block on the daily time frame, and immediately buys started. Immediately we started to see some buys, and clearly yesterday it gave us what we needed yesterday. If you can look at H4, this was a pullback. We were in the buys. We saw that break of structure right there, but then we saw this pullback. We saw this kind of pullback. Now all we need is, this is what I had said, this is what I had analyzed yesterday. We wanted this pullback here so that we can start to enter buys. This was yesterday, because we had seen this as a change of character on H1, so we needed a pullback on that fair value gap, and then we start to make entries for the buys. So apparently that sale happened, but of course, as you know, I don't normally enter these kinds of trades, but it was, if one got it, that was a good one to sell it all the way down below to this fair value gap. So that happened. So now I don't need this and also that, because that move has already started. So if I go to H1, I'm now looking for buys. According to CCI, I started looking for buys right there. Same thing even on the main chart right there. Even on the main chart, we started to buy. Now right here, this was a retest, and now we need to buy again. So how are we going to make this? What other point of interest did it leave behind? I see this order block, because from what I'm seeing, price may first do another retest right here. Price is sort of consolidating right here. Let me go to HM15. I understand what is happening. All right, so I see it. I see something like that. Yeah, I'm seeing something like that as I speak. That's what I'm seeing right there. So that becomes a bit weird for us. So for now, I can't do anything. In fact, I'll just leave it. All we know is that we will be looking for buys either way, either today or tomorrow, because consolidation can even take the whole day. So for now, all we need is a breakout. This is an ascending triangle. Ascending triangles, we are always looking for a breakout to take us all the way up. So for now, we are seeing it right here, and it is coming from this it's now a support, because it has tested it here, went up, tested it again. So it's a support on H1, a weak one. It's a weak support. So it's likely to either give us a fake breakout right here. It comes there, and immediately we make that kind of an entry. So until then, I can't do anything. Remember, there's also this option to break out and continue with the buys, but as we speak now, we can easily anticipate a fake breakout down below and then continuation of the buys. Then continuation of the buys right there. So for this, I will leave it where it is on H1, and I'll be waiting for something like this. I have two options: breakout on the upper trend line, and then continue with the buys, or fake breakout and then entry, which we normally call manipulation distribution, because this is accumulation of orders. Yeah. All right, I think that's enough on a boom of 1,000. Let's now head over to boom 500. If you see something else that I'm not seeing, and you have a different kind of analysis, please share it in the comment section so that we can look at it. Tell us what you're seeing, and I'll be able to look into it, and we know if we are on the same page or if we all have different things we are seeing. So now this was an interesting one. Boom 500. The analysis was simply pull back there, then sell to bring us either here or here. The line that was here, I also remember I had another line here to push price up, so I had deleted it since this was a clear level on our fib. But then we had this other fair value gap, which was below 61.8, and this is what we can clearly see the price is coming for. But when it did this, I had that kind of structure on M15. In fact, it would have been like this, but yeah, it would have been like that. So I had this kind of structure. So when it did this right here, it came to this fair value gap, and this was late night. And when I saw this, I immediately saw my entry. I never shared this entry, but that was a trade right there. I had my TP right there, just on the highs there, and it was hit as I was watching the match, Champions League, and yeah, it was hit like that. It was late night, around midnight 11 there, and that's how I ended the day right there. So all this now is no longer needed. All this now is no longer needed. So go back to H1. Let's take off history. That one is resistance. Did it come to it? It actually came to it, so I can easily delete this. So it came to that resistance. Drag it here, put it like that, and fucked like this. And now what do we have here? Price is coming to this fair value gap, so this was respected, so we can take it out. We remain with this. What else? This line, that was like a support trend line, and this can be drawn like this. This can be drawn like that, and that's what will be seen. So if I go to H4, it will be a weird thing. So take off this. Let's take it off, delete that, delete this, and check what we have now. So according to H4, we know that price is coming to this order block. That is an order block right there. We have a fair value gap on that level according to H1, but also an order block down on H1 still. So we still have those two levels that price can react back to, but if it does react here, then it may not come for this other order block. So we just have to keep waiting. We will keep waiting for what comes first. But look at that candle there. That is so that is an engulfing one. It is engulfing a lot of many candles right here. If you go to H4, H4, 1, 2, and even these other candles. Yeah, it is one weird candle right there. As we can see, we were looking for buys, but then what we had here, this was like a symmetrical triangle on the daily time frame. Looking at this trend line, and of course looking at what we had here, one can easily say, oh wait a minute, maybe so the first, then it went all the way down, so this would be our point, not the one where we had it. So one may clearly see that we are still within this we are still within this structure right here, this pattern. We are still within that. So price can easily come all the way back to this trend line and then push us back into buys. Push us back into buys from all the way there. So there's a possibility. Of price coming all the way here. So what do? We just keep waiting. We have about this is H1. We are looking for, in the next 7 minutes, price will be seeing the next H4 candle starting. So that's why it has put for us that week. It has put that week so that it can leave for the next candle to start. So it's gonna start, and if it starts, it's likely, because of this kind of momentum, it's likely to break through this fair value gap and continue actually to this other order block right here. So let's be ready. If it gives us something like this, then we'll be ready to make our entries right here for the buys. This is boom 500. If I go to M15, clearly you will see that we still need sells, and these sells are likely to push us all the way here. So everything is aligning according to how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not seeing any pullback. Of course it can, because it gave us here a change of character, meaning we are selling now. Lower low, lower high. It hasn't given us any other lower low. Probably this one candle, so it's a bit weird. So it can easily give us a lower low here and a lower high, probably back to this level, and then it continues to sell. So we just have to wait for what price will give us right here. Alright, so let's now head over to V25S. Vol25 1S. Volatility 25 1S. Yesterday, and those who have been with us on it the other day, was it on Friday? No, Monday we were looking for a buy to break out this level right here to continue with buys, and it happened. So yesterday it started to consolidate within that kind of within this structure right there. It started to consolidate right there, and of course we already know that it was going to give us this kind of structure, this kind of TP after breakout. This is where we know price is coming to, and I think it almost hit the TP right there. It almost hit the TP. That's where we know price is coming to. So if we haven't seen it reach that level, then we know it's going to reach it. But now, yesterday, when it came back to that fair value gap, that was my sell entry, and that's when I told the guys to actually enter sells right there. I had my entries. It came to this was our first TP right here, but then we had a fair value gap down below. This was a fair value gap here, but then we also had this one right here. It failed to come to that one. That was our second TP. So it only came to the first TP, and that was it. I moved out and took my profits. After that, it actually got some kind of weird momentum, which was not that of a much issue. It was not that much. We clearly see that it kept on. If you look at M15, it was very weird. Look at how it was moving until it got here and actually broke the previous high right there, gave us a new higher high, came retested, and now it is trying to consolidate. If you look at H1, you clearly see that it's sort of giving us either a channel, or one can say it is a flag, which is a weird one because the level we need is just this one there to take us there. Anyways, all we know is price has to break out and come to that level. That's what we know. So what do we do? What do we do right here? Go back to M15, make this clear on M15, and then and then wait. Go to, this is M15, still going to come down again. So if it is still going to come down again, then we know that M5 is a bit selling. So let's go to M5. No, M5 is not selling. So if it is not selling, then that means let's wait. Oh yes, that means we are going to continue with buys. We're going to continue with buys, and these will be according to M15, and once it gets there, then we'll be looking for sales from M15. Already we needed sales on M15, and of course H1 we also need sales according to CCI right there. So everything now will be aligned. And hopefully these sales will come to mitigate the liquidity on this fair value gap. So now I can delete right here, everything here. This has been respected already, so I can take it out, delete. I don't know what I've done. Okay, so delete this also, but then I want to choose to leave this fair value gap because it may act as a support. Take this out. I want this to remain. It may act as a support level right here. So for now, leave it there, and I want to look at this level. This is an order block right there, but it seems it's not coming there. It is coming to that high right there. So it's coming to that resistance level up there. So I can delete that and maintain that right there. So that's what I'll be anticipating on boom on Volatility 25S. Yeah. It's gonna give us a breakout. Wait, and actually it has given us already that breakout right there. It has given us that breakout, so it can easily give us a retest. Or continue with the buys. If I go to M5, let me see what do I have. It has broken, so it's going to give us a retest. This retest may actually come back inside. Why? Because we are looking at higher highs and higher lows. Yes, higher highs and higher lows. This was a change of character right here. If I'm using smart money concept, this is a change of character, pull back here, and then started higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. It's going to give us a higher high, and it can easily come back to this level, either here where we have our breaker block. It can easily come and retest here, or it can even come for this fair value gap. As you can see, it has been coming to look for these fair value gaps, but also the breaker block. So a fair value gap that matches with a breaker block, it can be our priority, but I don't see it right here. So this may not actually come back to this fair value gap. It may continue. So let's wait. We see how all this comes around. So we'll leave it at M5. Let's now head over to V75. V75, first go here, change that to V75. So V75, according to daily time frame, we are looking for sales here. According to H4, we are selling, but we had here a change of character, meaning we were looking for a reversal to start buys. So what happened yesterday? No, the other day. Yesterday, the previous 2 days we saw price coming back. Yeah, it first retested on that fair value gap right there, went a bit up, but it came and failed to respect that fair value gap again. It actually came and respected the order block right here where the momentum of buy started from. So I can easily delete that now. According to what I have here on net 1, price has reacted to that order block 2 times, meaning this is a strong support level, and that clearly tells us that price is actually going to get into buys. So what do we do? H4, price is still below our 10 MA, but it is on the support, and this is somewhat of a strong support. But as we can see clearly on CCI, price needs to come here to oversold before buys start. So how do we play this along? If I go to M15, I need sales. Same thing as H1, I need sales. So it means I'm still selling on H1. So if I go to M5, oh, this is still weird. This is still, I'm still not ready to make any trades right here. Yeah, still not ready to make any trades right here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It's coming to look for a lower low. So if it breaks this level, then it's going to continue with sales, because according to daily time frame we need sales, and this is where we have our fair value gap, where we anticipated that we may get to see some buys from such a level. So I may change everything and do it like this. From there we need sales, and then probably it comes all the way to that fair value gap, and then we can anticipate another move of sales from that fair value gap or the order block above here, right here. So this is still very, very risky for anyone to look for any buys. The momentum is still a sell. So go to H1, leave it. I don't know, let's see. This is break of structure, lower low, lower high. It's looking to break this, but we have a support, so it may consolidate right here where we are around this support for some good time. So we may anticipate some consolidation right here until we actually see it. May actually, as it is consolidating, it may give us a pullback either back there and then sells, or it can give us a breakout after consolidating. So there's still a lot. Remember, we are not market movers, market makers. We just follow what the market makers are planning to do, so we also follow the same. So until it finishes consolidating right here, we will see a breakout to come here, and then we can anticipate the buy move to take us right there. So we have a lot we can wait for. It can easily, remember at daily time frame we are still looking for sales, so it can easily come here on H4, grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, which is a daily fair value gap, and then after that head over into the buys to grab the one here on that fair value gap on H4, and then brings us back into sales to actually continue according to daily time frame. So it's still a lot that we can think of, but there is another option of it first retesting and then coming again down. It is also an option, so don't get stuck on one thing, knowing that this market can change anytime. things can change anytime. So this one, I'm not going to waste my time on it. I clearly see prices on a support, and it's a strong support. So whatever it does, I can easily delete everything right here. Whatever it does here is what will give us the next move. But according to M15, you can see there is no way you can enter such thing. You don't know where it is going to go. Even if you draw your trend lines right here, they will not help you a lot. They will not help you a lot. It's going across. It may keep on playing within here, until it decides to break, either going up or going down. But now I don't have anything I can do with this. I don't have to risk anything right here. So that is V75. Let's head over to Jump 50. Jump 50 was a crazy one. Yeah, it was a crazy one. We needed a pullback right there when it came to this. This was a move right there to bring us here, because that was a flag. It actually made the move, came right here and gave us that sell. But then from that, we needed a move to push us back inside for the buys, and we actually made an entry right there. So let me show it to you. First, delete everything right here. But of course, there are two options. Like I had said, it can easily break and continue with the sell, or retest and go all the way back to that order block. So apparently it did the short retest back to the order block right here, back to that order block on this time frame on H1, and then the sales start. But it was having a low momentum. We entered the trade right here. It took almost a whole day. When I saw it, I told the guys to close it after some good hours, after like 4 or 5 hours. Told them, you know what, it's better we move out of this trade. We just leave it. So we moved out, gave us that kind of pullback. This is, oh sorry guys, this is Jump 50. Did I write the name? No. Jump 50. So when we moved out, it brought that. It would have taken us out on our SL, because our SL was tight. Such trends, I have to apply stop losses. So delete everything right there. Even this can now go. And now, as we clearly see, price is headed, it's actually breaking out. But is it breaking out? Because if we are looking at if we are looking at these trend lines, one can say actually it's coming right here. So it will give us another option, looking at that it has not even touched the trend line, so it's coming all the way to that daily fair value gap right there. It's coming to that. So probably that's where we will see our buys come in. So this has been a crazy one of the assets that we've followed. Look at daily, still looking for sells. But if you go to H4, you will understand that, oh, even H4 is not yet oversold. It's been playing around. It never touched it here, so it went up, came back like that. It's been playing around that. So until H4 is oversold, H1 for it is oversold already, so it will continue like that. So there's nothing that we can do about it. We have to wait for H4 on daily time frame to start buying. So what do we do? If I go to H1, I'm seeing something significant. Let me actually go to M15. I look at something like that. It's something like that. Right, so that's what happened. Price broke out there, again started to sell. Alright, we first delete some of these order blocks. This one it was not respected, so I can easily delete it. Yeah, now we wait for, we have actually a break of structure. If you can clearly see it on not yet, actually on the daily we haven't gotten any change or any break of structure yet. This is a low here, so that's where price is. Alright, so on H4, we can say we have a break of structure right there, but of course if we are here, you will clearly see that we've been selling. That was a change of character right here, change of character, and since then we've been in lower lows and lower highs. So as we speak, price is continuing with the sell, and right here on H1, this can also be taken as a break of structure, meaning we are coming for a new lower low. We are coming for a new lower low. But again, you can even tell that price is coming to that level. It has even exceeded it already, so we can remove that and wait for when price gives us a pullback. It has left here a fair value gap, and that is a point of interest that we can wait for price to come back, and then we can take the advantage to continue selling it together. So there's nothing else I can do right here. I just have to wait for this kind of move if I want to trade this asset. The very valid move is to wait for buys when price gets to this level. Hopefully it will be ready for us to sell when it gets to this level. To buy when it gets to this level. But if it fails, then we still continue with the trend and we keep trading according to the trend. So that's what I'm going to wait for on H1 on this asset. Jump 25. Jump 25 is our second last asset. Let's look at it. So jump 25, I needed this yesterday. This was yesterday. I needed a breakout to give me a change of character. Yes, it happened right there. But the pullback went all the way back to that fair value gap right there according to H1, and it started to sell. So I can easily now delete this. Even that. So but now this right here is I'm not ready to sell this. Why? Because this is my current higher high, this is my current higher low, so it means this is my change of character level. If I want to start selling, I have to wait for this to be broken out so that I can wait for a retest. So you can wait for a retest. Now H1 is already oversold, so if we had entered right there, it would have been a sniper entry probably, but we missed it. So if I go to H4, I'm looking for sales, so it clearly tells you that if I have a breakout here, that will be my H4 change of character, which will be a good one. And now things get interesting clearly, because you clearly see that price is now below our 10 MA on H4 and even on H1, which is a good thing. So if you have a big account, you can choose to enter here and put your stop loss above there. It will be a big one, yeah, but if you want, you can still put it on above this fair value gap. But this is jump. These assets can jump and take out. And remember, they don't respect your stop loss, so they are deadly. They can take a lot of money if you have used a bigger lot size. Yeah, so you rather wait for this change of character to get a good clean entry. No need to rush. I normally tell my students when I'm teaching in the mentorship class that the market is here to stay. Yeah, at least it is what we know. But you rushing to make money, if you have a need and you want to take care of, like immediately, yes, of course you can. It is possible to quickly make money in trading, but you will end up making mistakes just because you need quick money to sort out something in your life. So you rather not look at trading when you're looking for quick money. You rather just look for somewhere else to get the money and then come back with the right mindset and trade according to how the market is, not according to what you need. If you trade according to what you need, you will end up making poor decisions that will end up causing you a lot of losses, and you will not like it. All right, so this is what I will be looking for according to what I'm seeing on this very jump 25. Our last asset is jump 10. Now, as I'm speaking, I believe everyone is seeing how poor the market is, and sometimes I'll be like, should we be introducing one other asset every other week when the markets are slow? Because of course sometimes you find all the assets that we have, they are all slow, and yet you may find when there's another asset which is actually doing good, and we don't have it here. So if you guys know any asset that is doing good and we don't have it on our list here, you can always share it and we look at it if we still have some time. All right, so this is jump 10. Now jump 10, we needed this according to H1. Our analysis was price to come here and then give us a pullback all the way to either this fair value gap right here or even to the other order block. But price reacted to that fair value gap, gave us a fake breakout even on the fair value gap, and started to sell. But one thing it didn't do was to come to this fair value gap. So this is still our point of interest. We still have it. But now we can delete. I want to delete this. There was a resistance. And now this fair value gap can also go. It has already served its purpose. Go back. This can go. This can go. And this. That. So, what do we have? So we know price reacted to this fair value gap right there, and then we started to see some sales. According to H1, we need sales. According to H4, it somehow needs buys, but we needed H1. This is a fair value gap right there. Straight properly. So finding this, when this is likely to continue trading like this probably the whole of today. So that will be like that on H1. on H1 and even H4, that will tell us that we need this move when price reacts to this fair value gap or even to this order block. So delete this, maintain that. That is now a clear structure that I can trade and follow up with. So if I go to H1, I know price is going to sell to come to this level without a doubt. When I come to M15, it is CCI is showing me that I need to continue with buys to reach there. So that can clearly tell me there's a possibility of price giving me a pullback to that level, or to first come all the way down here and then probably to this order block, and then later on push me into buys back to that trend line. This is according to M15. So I know this. This is what I know as of now because of what I've just seen on H1 and H4. It is a flag, but now we're going to trade it within that very structure of the flag, and that's how we're going to make money on this asset today. So if it gives us any of the things we've talked about, there's of course a fair value gap here, a good one. That's a good fair value gap. If I use my fib, you will clearly see that it is on a position that is good for retracement. So there's this, there's that right here to give us that. So this there, or here, and then up there. So we still know it is possible to even react from this fair value gap. So that is how I'll be waiting for this trade. I can't do anything. In fact, if I'm being a bit more even realistic, you will clearly see that even on M15 it is creating its own structure. It is creating its own structure right there. You can clearly see it. You can clearly see it, and that will be coming in to this fair value gap. Yeah, it will be coming in here, and clearly it can even come all the way here, so that when we use this move, it will be taking us back to that trend line. So I can delete that structure because you're already seeing it now. Can leave it right there. So that is it on today's analysis. So I can head back to we can make our recap and we call it a day. There's nothing much we are seeing of good moves. Let's do the recap and we call it a day. Starting from crash 500, we need that pullback, and it is happening. I said we have two moves, either pullback from there back to that, or to this order block, and then we start to sell. That will be a sniper entry for our sales, or a breakout here, retest, then we continue with the sell. Those are our two options, but as we speak, we can see that price is trying to continue with the buys right here to take us back there. We will wait and see, because price is below our 10 MA on H1, so it can easily give us sells. Boom 1000, it's having low momentum, but we know this is happening. It is within the ascending triangle, so it can easily give us a fake breakout here, and then we enter buys like that, or breakout and continue with the buys where we are currently. So we'll be waiting for whatever happens. Boom 500 on the other hand, the sales were continuing. We needed a continuation of this sell, either to this fair value gap, but from what we saw, it's likely to continue all the way to this other order block, so that we can start our buys. So from there, there's nothing we can do. If it has not given us a pullback to give us a lower high so that we can enter, then there's nothing we can do. We just keep waiting until it gets oversold, or until it gets to the level that we need, which is this order block, or there. If we get any move, any pullback, then we can enter sales. If it reacts from here, then we can enter our buys. Alright, that is on Boom 500. Now V25S, a pullback has happened, and it has happened to this order block. It has happened to that order block, and I believe on M15, has it closed yet? So it is going to close. It is going to close in the next minute. It is going to close in the next minute. We had a perfect breakout, so this is a retest. That is a retest. On M15, yet we needed to continue with sales, but on H1, that is just a breakout, so I can easily wait for this H1 to close. I can easily wait for this H1 to close, or if this candle gets back inside this trend line, inside this flag, then I can easily make my sales to take me all the way down below. So I just have to wait. I just have to wait. But remember, according to M5, we've been seeing what? We've been seeing higher highs and higher lows. We've been in an uptrend, so anything can happen where we are. Anything can happen. We can get into buys, and we actually continue with them, because according to H1 and M15, actually we need sales, but then at a later stage we'll have to get that pullback to there, and then we can get into sales again. So I will just leave it on M15. A new candle of M15 has started, and I have nothing to do right there. Yeah, I have nothing to do right there. I just have to wait. There. I can't risk making an entry, because anything can change, and we find that our trend line should be actually there. Yeah, this is a low high, fair low high, so this can easily be our entry for our sale. So that's why I'm just being patient to wait. Alright, V75. Okay, it's giving us that buy. Like I told you, it may keep playing within here like that. So clearly right here it has touched that support. We saw that support on H1, so it's going back up again. So it's a bit too close, but if you are a scalper, this can be a good trade for you to take right up there and then close your trade. If you're a scalper, you can enter your buys to take you just around here, around that order block, which will be now matching with the trend line right there. So you can, if you can do that, then you're okay to do it. Jump 50 for it. If we don't get a pullback, we have no business with it, because it's going to continue selling. So we need a pullback so we can enter sales. Jump 25, same thing, we need something like that so we can enter sales. Until then, we have no business with it. Jump 10, we need, it's consolidating within a flag, so we know that it's going to continue selling where it is, even though CCI shows us it has to be buying. So it can either first give us that and then get into sales, or it can continue with sales and then later get into buys to confirm what we need on M15. So it's a bit tricky. I can't do anything right there where it is. I can just wait, but as I'm waiting, I'm seeing a support right there. That is a support. So if it breaks this level, then it is going to continue selling all the way here. But if it gives us a change of character here on M5, then you'll be knowing it's headed all the way up there. Then you know it's headed all the way up there. All right, I think I've talked a lot, and we've exhausted everything that we needed. The only thing I'm seeing here that is giving us probably what we need soon, this is V25S is one thing that is likely to give us some entry right here. So I would be waiting for when it actually does give us an entry. It's likely to give us a sell entry. Let me go to M1. Yeah, it's likely to give us a sell entry. Yeah, so let's wait for that kind of sell entry on V25S. All right, let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading day. For those on Signals on VIP platform, I'm still with you. I'll be sharing when we are ready to, when I think I'm ready to enter, and of course you guys know how I do it. When I enter, I share. When I get what I'm always looking for. Boom 500 has started to give us a retest. If it does give us a retest, then we can actually enter. So we wait. V25 is trying to mess with me, but I'm not going to enter on the wrong side, so I will just wait for it. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30 East African time, and hopefully today we make some good money. Yesterday we did make some good money. Let's hope today is also another good day. Being a Wednesday, we should be expecting market to be moving in very well with enough momentum, but as we have seen from the very assets that we are looking at, there's still low momentum. Markets are not yet moving. These days they are normally now moving on Fridays and Saturdays, so I'm likely to start trading Saturday, of which I don't like, so we'll see about that. Yeah, but still the momentum on the market is still low. It's only scalpers that can trade like we did yesterday. We scalped on V25 and we made some money, so hopefully even today we will get some scalp trades and be able to make some money in the market. See you guys. Bye bye.